Hi, my name is Lori Hashimoto, and I'm the chef and co-owner of Hana Japanese Eatery, and today we're going to make Nasu Misoyaki. Nasu Misoyaki is eggplant coated in a sweet miso sauce. Miso sauce is a fermented soybean paste. And now to make our miso sauce, we'll take our miso paste and put it into our bowl. We'll take our sugar, mirin, and water. We'll mix these ingredients together so that we can create a nice, loose sauce. When we mean loose, we mean for there to be no chunks and for it to be able to pour off the spoon. Notice it is smooth without any large chunks. Now we can start cutting our eggplant. The eggplant that we'll be using today is a Japanese variety eggplant. It's long and slender with a dark purple skin that is light and thin to the touch. We will cut our stem off and remove the remaining leaf around, the calyx. We will then cut our eggplant in half, and please remember, when using a knife, always have an adult present. We will then put the flat side down and create small cuts diagonally along the top of the skin. When cutting, make sure to keep your fingertips in. This will help allow the nasu or eggplant to cook evenly. Once you've cut all of your small diagonals, you want to cut across those and make bite-sized pieces. And before we go any further, let's go to the garden and learn how to grow our eggplant.
Thanks, Chef Lori. Hi, my name is Emily, and I'm a local farmer. The name of my farm is Bene Vivendo, and it's based in Chandler and in Tempe. What does Bene Vivendo mean? Well, it means the good life. And I love farming, and that is the definition of a good life for me. I really hope to bring really good vegetables and flowers to you, to nourish and delight you. Let's talk about eggplant. Eggplant loves the heat, which we have plenty of, and it loves our long sunny days. And we're gonna learn today on how to plant it, so we'll have plenty of eggplant to eat. It's so yummy. So when you get your eggplant, it's gonna come in a little dish like this. There's a part that's wrapped in plastic. That's where all the roots are. And here's the vegetative part, the little baby plant. It's really important to make sure when you're putting a plant in the ground to loosen up the soil a little bit. Roots need places to go to, right? When you see a plant that grows, all the leaves and stems grow, but the roots are growing too. And so when you're putting a baby plant in, think about those roots and give them plenty of room and good nutrients and water so that they can do their thing. How big of a hole do you need to make? Well, take a look at the little pot that the plant is. How deep is it? How wide is it? And use your sense of visual to open up the soil. You want to make sure that you open up the soil about the same size as the pot, maybe a little bit wider. Why is that? Well, I just mentioned that the roots need room, right? And so we don't want the roots to be next to tight soil. We want the roots to be next to nice, loose soil. So here's our hole, and it's nice and wide. Let's do a little test. I'm going to place the plant down here, and when you are putting a plant in, I want you to notice the level of the soil in the plant. You see the top of the dirt? It's level with the level of the soil here in your garden, and that's perfect. You don't want it to be planted too high or planted too low. Either one of those situations, the plant's gonna hate it. We want nice level. So I can see that this is quite level, and I like that a lot. So I'm just gonna soften up the soil a little bit more in the right below where the plant's gonna go. Then we take our hands, we wave hello to the plant, and we put our hands nice and wide like a catcher's mitt, a baseball glove, put it over the plant, and we're gonna turn it upside down very gently, and the plant will come right down into your hand. You can tap it if it doesn't come out. and then lift off the pot. And now we can see where all the roots are of this plant. And this looks really healthy and nice. And we give it a little wiggle wiggle or tickle tickle to break up the roots so that they will know to grow into their new home. Put your other hand over. You're gonna flip it around and then put it right down in the ground right away. And now you can see our plant is right in the middle of the hole. You can double check again to make sure everything is level. That looks great. Hold your plant and fill the soil back in all around. Nice and level. Use your hands gently. We don't squish the plant. We compress very lightly the soil around where the plant was growing. If you are using mulch, which is wonderful to use, especially in the warm season, bring the mulch around in a circle. Don't put mulch up next to where the main stem of the plant is. That's going to strangle the plant. We use mulch very successfully to keep the soil cooler and to hold moisture in, but it doesn't go right up next to the main stem. It goes kind of around the edge. You would water it in really well. These are my irrigation tubes, and they provide water to my farm field. In your garden, you can use a watering can, a hose, or if you have drip irrigation, after you get everything planted, you can turn your system on and water. I hope that you will enjoy planting and growing eggplant. It makes such great food, and it's really fun. Now back to you, Chef. I cannot wait to taste that miso eggplant. Yum.
Thanks so much for showing us how to grow the eggplant. Now that we have our pieces, we can go over to the stoves to start cooking. Before you start working on the stove, please make sure that you have an adult supervising your heat temperature and making sure that you have a dry towel to touch anything hot. First, we're going to start with our sesame seed oil in a medium hot pan. Then, we're going to add our eggplant. Leave your eggplant in your pan for 6 to 8 minutes. And now our eggplant has been cooking for just about 6 minutes. And as you can see, the slits that we've cut on top have allowed our eggplant to cook through. Now, you want to be able to see the color on the opposite side. This beautiful color that we have on top of the eggplant on the meat side is exactly where you want to be to let you know that your eggplant has been cooked through thoroughly. Now, we will add our miso paste. Take your miso paste sauce and go ahead and put it inside of the pan to cover your eggplant. As you can see, it will start to splatter. Be careful, as this will be hot. Take your chopsticks and gently stir your eggplant, allowing the miso sauce to cover your eggplant. Now that your miso has coated your eggplant, you can turn off your burner. And now that your eggplant is done, you can remove it from the pan. Be careful because it'll still be hot. Use the sesame seeds that you have and sprinkle on top. And finally, you can throw on some fresh green onions. And there you have it, the eggplant misoyaki.